put this little hair down. That might be sticking out all during the video. Check out that cute little kitty back there, hiding in the pillows. That's Riley. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. It has been a while. I'll talk about why in just a second, but first, I am 30 weeks. I'm actually 30 weeks and 4 days, I think. So I'm about to be 31 weeks. Baby E is the size of a cucumber or a head of lettuce or whatever another app says. They all say different things, it seems like. And it's crazy because she will be here in about 7 weeks. That's insane. Obviously that doesn't line up with being 30 weeks, and I will talk about why she is coming earlier later on. So the reason it has been a while is because we moved. And we didn't just move like down the road or anything. We moved to Florida, which is insane. So that's why I haven't done an update in a while, because things were crazy when we were getting ready to move. And then when we got here, things were crazy with like trying to settle in and all of that. I actually planned on doing an update way earlier, like maybe like a week after we got here. But I actually got like a really bad cold and I was sleeping basically all day. And so yeah, that didn't really work out. I'm feeling much better now. I'm still kind of getting over that like lingering cough, but I'm good to go, so I thought I would do an update. Obviously, it has been several weeks since I did an update, so I have a lot to talk about. Let's get started. First, baby kicks are crazy strong right now. She is kicking constantly. I've noticed that when I listen to music, like when I'm just like around the house, unpacking stuff or whatever, she kicks a lot more. And when I'm singing along with the music, it's even more kicking. So I thought that was kind of cool that like when she hears me sing, she kicks more. I still feel hungry a lot, which is totally normal during third trimester, but I'm definitely getting back to my healthier foods. That was a little difficult to do when we first got here because obviously we didn't have any fresh food in the fridge because you can't really travel like 11 hours with fresh food. So we didn't really have a lot of like fruit and vegetables and all of that. So we had to go out and get that stuff after we were like settled in. I'm not doing yoga really as much, and I'm not really doing like crazy exercise in general, mainly because I am constantly exhausted. But if you count like unpacking and all of that, then I guess I am exercising, and I do because I'm exhausted after doing all of that. We've made a few beach trips because we're super close to the beach, like maybe 10 minutes-ish. So obviously it's really easy for us to go out to the beach and spend a day there. And just a couple of days ago, we went to Disney Springs to spend the day there because we're like an hour and a half away from Disney, which is crazy and super exciting. But the only issue is when we go out and do things all day and like going to Disney Springs, I always feel like, yeah, I can make it through the whole day just walking around and doing a whole bunch of stuff, but I really can't. So I've had to kind of like slow it down a little bit because my body is obviously telling me, Ciera, you need to stop. You cannot just keep going and going and going. And when I do constantly go all day, I get really bad swelling like in my ankles and my feet. And I'm already like constantly swelling like in my face and in my hands. Not fun at all. I get out of breath really easily, and then if I've been walking around or doing stuff for a long time, I start getting really bad cramps in my stomach, which obviously is not fun. It got really bad when I was at Disney Springs when we were getting ready to leave. So yeah, I just need to slow it down a bit. The only new symptom I've been getting lately is little baby hairs coming in, which I'm sure you can see them because I can't really control them. They're just crazy. My friend Leah actually told me that after giving birth, it will happen like even more. Like I'll get even more baby hairs coming in, which I've heard is totally normal. Speaking of Leah, if you have not checked out her channel, definitely go check it out. I'll link it down below. I've had to buy more like real maternity wear, not just like clothes that are a few sizes bigger, because my bump has definitely popped. and so a lot of clothes are just really uncomfortable, so I've had to buy real maternity clothes. And I realized that being short with a very short torso means my bump pops out even more and it gets bigger than normal. So I'm kind of scared of how big it's gonna be when it comes time to deliver. I'm still hot all the time. Surprisingly, moving to Florida hasn't really made that worse, but I'm definitely still hot all the time, and Matthew is the best husband in the world because he puts up with me having all the fans on high and having like really low temperature in the house. He is the best. We had another ultrasound just like a few days before leaving, and it was so cool because they showed like 3D images and they gave us photos from the 3D images. It's so cool because you can really see her features in her face, so that was definitely a highlight. I know a lot of people have been wondering, I don't know why I'm talking with my hands so much. I know a lot of people have been wondering about baby shower because like we haven't put that on our vlogs or anything like that. We haven't had one. We kind of left at the point where people were talking about throwing us a baby shower. That's when we ended up moving. And obviously coming here, we don't really know people. We know a few people, but not a lot, so baby shower might not even happen. I don't know, that's kind of up in the air. It's not a big deal if it doesn't. Moving on to medical stuff. I have a lot of stuff to update y'all on. At my last neurology appointment before moving, all my medicine levels were good to go. I had a little bit of issues in the beginning with like blurry vision and stuff when my medicine got upped a little bit. But that ended up going away. I was great after that, so medicine is looking good. My neurologist actually said like getting the blurry vision was actually a sign that my levels were kind of evening out, and I hopefully won't have to have any more medicine increases from here to birth, basically. Another thing that I had before moving, like right before moving, I think the week before we moved, is my glucose test, which was not fun. There were definitely times after I drank the like sugary thing that I felt like I was gonna pass out, which made me think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fail. But I passed with flying colors. They said there was nothing like indicating that I could even have gestational diabetes, which is amazing. Now obviously, since we're somewhere new, that means I'm getting all new doctors, which kind of stresses me out a little bit. But things are kind of falling into place, so I'm trying to stay calm. One really exciting thing is we found all 3 doctors in one place. Before, I had my OB and MFM in one place and then my neurologist in another place. So that was kind of like annoying to have to deal with all that, and it was harder for them to communicate. I'm going to see my new OB actually a week from today, so I'll get set up with her, and she is going to set me up with my neurologist, and I'm going to the MFM next month. But there's a note on my appointment that says if something comes up earlier, then I want that appointment, so there's a chance I could go in earlier. Everything has been great recently. No seizures, which is very surprising considering moving in 3rd trimester is very stressful. But I've been trying to do all I can to stay stress-free basically and just concentrate on getting settled and remembering that, you know, everything is good right now. If doctor's appointments are a little late, it's okay. Okay, now I'm going to explain why I don't have 10 weeks left at 30 weeks, because I know that's probably kind of confusing, and I know I don't really have to explain myself when it comes to my birth plan, but I've been sharing everything with y'all, so I figured I'd just go ahead and explain it. I have chosen to do a scheduled C-section, which is usually done 2 to 3 weeks before the due date, just to make sure you don't go into labor and that would mess everything up basically. The main reason I chose to do a scheduled C-section is obviously because of my seizures and all the different types of seizures I have and these stress seizures that cannot be controlled. I could choose to try and do a natural birth with medication, obviously, and everything could go great. There are people with epilepsy that have done natural births and everything went great, but there is a chance that it won't. I could end up laboring for a long time, having a stress seizure, which means the baby is at risk, I'm at risk, and then it would be an emergency C-section, and I would have to recover from labor and a C-section, which is not fun, obviously. Like, recovering from both of those would not be fun. And I didn't make this decision like just out of nowhere without doing any research or talking to anyone. I went through a long process. There was a very long period of time where I thought I can go through labor and everything and I think it'll be fine. If something goes wrong, it'll be fine. I'll get a C-section. But after speaking with friends who had gone through a scheduled C-section and an emergency C-section after laboring, I decided to go with a scheduled C-section because they made it very clear that going through labor and then an emergency C-section was very difficult to recover from. But going through a scheduled C-section was a lot easier. I actually talked with a friend recently who was recovered basically in about 4 weeks from her C-section that was scheduled, which sounded amazing to me. I've also had abdominal surgery before. I had ovarian cysts that were causing a lot of pain. I also had another one that had twisted my ovary and like fused it together. And I had my appendix taken out, and that was all done in one surgery. So obviously I've gone through a recovery from abdominal surgery, and I know it was tough going through that recovery, but I also know that I can handle it and it's not a long recovery process. I think that is all I have for you today as far as an update on everything. I'm going to try to stick to weekly updates now. Things might get a little crazy with getting closer to the scheduled C-section and obviously trying to get everything ready, but I'm going to really try to stay with the updates and keep doing them weekly, because I feel like towards the end that's when a lot of things start changing and your body is just really preparing for birth. So I want to keep y'all updated. And last but not least, I will show you the bump, which, fair warning, it has grown a lot since my last update, obviously. It's definitely popped. It's a lot bigger. There is the bump. Like I said, it is a lot bigger. All right, thanks for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up or share or comment whatever you'd like to do. If you have any questions for me, leave them down below in the comments and I will give my best answer as possible. If you want to keep up even more with how everything is going, definitely check out our daily vlog channel, and I will see y'all next week. Bye!